is wonderful. It's special to you two more than anybody else. Today is a special day you'll never forget. But it's special for everybody here. That's why you come out, because it's just a great day of celebration. It's a great day of reunion, and people remember, and it's just a wonderful time. But it's always been that way. When Jesus was in Israel, actually in those days, a wedding might last a week or more. Aren't you glad you're not having to spend a week or more here at this time? But you know, it was always a great celebration. There was a lot going on. It was a special time. The people knew then just how special it was, just as we know today. Now in John chapter 2, there's a story about such a wedding. And Jesus, the Bible says that Jesus was there at this wedding with his disciples. It says he was there with his mother. And as they were there, it says on the third day, they were there, they ran out of wine. Now that'd be like you guys having enough food for about a third of these people. Now that would be tragic, wouldn't it? Everybody'd remember you ran out of food. We don't want that to be the case. Well, just in the days of Jesus, they didn't want that to be the case either. Excuse me. So Mary comes up and walks up to Jesus and says, Jesus, they have no more wine. And Jesus looks at her, because if you remember at this time, Jesus wasn't really that well known. You know, his disciples knew who he was, but his ministry had just begun. So he says to him, why have you done this? Why have you come to me? You know, my time has not come yet. But she asked him, she said, listen, she looked at the servants and she said, she was totally unshaken by what he said. Because again, what he said was, why do you involve me? Why do you involve me? And Mary looked at the servants and said, hey, do whatever he tells you to do. And that's all she said. She didn't apologize. She didn't question. She just said, do whatever you tell him to do. If you remember the story, it's the first miracle that Jesus ever performed. Okay? So Mary knew what was going to make a difference in that wedding. It was the involvement of Jesus. And really, I believe there's nothing more important in a relationship than that. And I think today, as we celebrate, as we look, and as we look about what God has done and how he brought us together and all the neat things that we've seen done over the last 9 or 10 months as we prepare for our next trip, I think it's awesome to see that even now Jesus wants to be involved in this ceremony. Jesus wants to be involved in this wedding, in this relationship. Jesus or Mary knew what would make a difference, and it's making Jesus the center of your marriage, the center of your life, and do whatever he tells you to do. Okay, these two